What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Jacob Blake, the unarmed black man, 29 years old, father of three, shot in his back 7 times, has now had the handcuffs removed from the hospital bed that he lays in, and the felony warranties have been vacated. See what public outrage and public backlash will do. This is just the first step. Hopefully, God willing, they will charge this officer for attempted murder, because that's what it was. Now you're starting to hear a lot of things that they do. They go into the old familiar playbook, trying to make the person that was misused and abused, make them a bad guy. Make them wear the black hat. You know what I'm saying? Now they trying to say that, oh, he had a knife on him. He told the officers he had a knife on him. He had a knife in the car seat, on the driver's side, up under the car seat. Oh, now they saying he had a knife on the passenger side. And he was reaching for it when he was attempting to get in his car. That's why the officers had to shoot him in his back 7 times. But you notice, if you watch the video, he's laying on his back, spread out, spread eagle on the ground. You see what I'm saying? Now, if he was reaching for his knife on the passenger side from the driver's side and they shot him in the back, don't you think he would have fell right over the top of the car seat on the driver's side? He wouldn't have fell back on the concrete with his back to the concrete, spread eagle, stomach up, back down. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have went down like that. So that's a contradiction right there, man. You need to watch the video and make an informed decision about what happened. And what happened was that the man was walking to his car on the driver's side, unarmed, and they shot him in the back. Instead of grabbing him, taking him to the ground, and getting his hands behind his back and handcuffing him and taking him on to jail, they shot the man in the back 7 times when they didn't have to. Now they trying to say, oh, we tried to use a stun gun twice, but it didn't work. Eyewitness say, yeah, they tried to use a stun gun 1 time, it didn't work. Now they trying to say, the police department, they come out making a lot of statements here today. Now they trying to say, hey, Jacob Blake had one of the officers in a headlock, trying to make him look like he was a threat to the officer. But the eyewitness that was there saying, no, they had him in the headlock. One of the officers had him they said they had him in the headlock. And the officer that shot him in the back 7 times was hitting Jacob Blake in the ribs. That's what one of the eyewitnesses said. He said he was filming. He said when he looked out his window, he said he didn't look out his window at the beginning of it, but he said when he looked out the window, they had Jacob Blake in the headlock, and the officer that shot him in the back 7 times was hitting him in the ribs. So who was resisting and who was being the aggressor? Okay, the man was shot in his back 7 times walking away from the officer. Granted, there was 3 officers on the scene, 2 men and 1 lady. They couldn't get this man on the ground, subdue him, get his hands behind his back and handcuff him. They had to shoot him in the back 7 times. Let me tell you what I'm gonna stay on code right now. Let me tell you exactly what's going through this crooked, corrupt officer mind. They was wrestling with him. They couldn't get control of him. They tried to put him in the head, like they punched him in the ribs. They still couldn't keep him on the ground and get the handcuffs on him. He broke loose and walked away from the officers, and they just got tired of tussling with him. They said, I'm not finna wrestle with this guy no more. I'm finna be the judge, the jury, and the executioner, and I'm gonna shoot the man in the back 7 times, and I'm gonna take control of this situation and let him know that I'm the one with the power. I'm the one that's gonna get the last laugh. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Similar to the situation that happened with George Floyd in Minnesota. Tried to get him in the car, couldn't keep him in the car. He was able to get out the car. They got tired of it, so old Officer Redneck came in there and put his knee on his neck and killed him. Got tired of saying, he said, I'm not finna wrestle with this guy. I'm not finna try to put him in the car once again, and he possibly can get out. I'm tired of this. I'm finna end this right now. And that's exactly what that officer did in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He wanted to end that right now. He wasn't going to tussle with that guy no more. He was finna let the trigger do the talking. That's what happened. And that's wrong. You got a fellow officer, you got 2 fellow officers right there. Y'all should be able to get control of the situation, of subdue the the man without shooting him in the back 7 times. And now the man is paralyzed from the waist down. His life has been turned upside down. He might not ever be the same, physically or mentally. It might not be ever be able to go outside and throw the football in the backyard with his son. You know, he might not ever be able to do some of the things, run around and play football and stuff like that with his son from a wheelchair, if it is permanent. Hopefully, God willing, he'll be able to walk again. Enough is enough. Enough is enough with all this, always trying to make the victim the bad guy and the bad guy's the victim. Enough is enough, man. Just watch the video and see for yourself and make an informed decision. And it's not a hard decision to make. It's black and white. The man was walking away from the officers, no threats, going to the driver's side of his car, opening the door. Why didn't they just grab him, tackle him, get him to the ground? Put the handcuffs, get his hands behind his back and put the handcuffs on. End the story. Everybody go home the same as they were before this incident happened. Now you got a man that's paralyzed from the waist down, and you got another guy that's, in my opinion, will soon be charged with attempted murder. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? My thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Jacob Blake, number one. You know, I've been doing a lot of videos on this guy, and this guy's a father of 3, and they're going to have to get some counseling for them 3 kids that witnessed their dad getting shot in the back 7 times, and they're going to have to have some kind of counseling, in my opinion, and hopefully they'll be able to overcome this tragedy and this situation that's could scar them the rest of their lives. Let me know what you think in the comment section about the handcuffs finally being removed from the hospital bed of Jacob Blake that he was handcuffed to, and those felony warrants that have been vacated due to the public pressure and public outlash. Another thing before I close this video out, I'm glad this is just about to skip my mind. I sure wouldn't have, might have had to do this video over. Now the police department, they're trying to say that it was a warrant out for Jacob Blake, that he had a sexual assault warrant out for him, that he went into a lady house and sexually assaulted her, and then left and took her car. I think that was the offense that they charged Jacob Blake with. And my answer to that is, what the hell does that matter with getting shot in your back 7 times? This is what I'm talking about. You try to make the victim look bad. You try to make the victim the bad guy, and you try to make the bad guys the victim. What the hell they got to do with getting shot in the back 7 times? Has nothing to do with this case. That's another case. That's apples and oranges. We talking about getting shot in his back 7 times, unarmed, in front of his 3 kids. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you going over this lady house, y'all getting into some kind of dispute, altercation. I don't know what the situation or the relationship he had with the woman. He leave and get in a vehicle. You know, they saying it was her vehicle. You know, maybe it was. But he leaves, and she say he sexually assaulted. I don't know the relationship they had. She might be trying to get back at him, or he might have actually did sexually assault her. Who knows? That's a he said, she said type of situation. And hopefully the evidence prove who was right and who was wrong. And if that's the case, then he need to be held accountable for that particular case. But what we talking about right now is a man getting shot in his back 7 times unarmed by a corrupt Kenosha police officer. And he need to be held accountable for it. In the story. Let me know what you think in the comment section about Jacob Blake, handcuffs removed from his hospital bed, and those felony warrants is vacated due to the public outburst, the public backlash. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that people complained about. You know, they were showing it on the news. They're talking about it since yesterday, about him being handcuffed to his hospital bed when he's paralyzed from the waist down. And it made no sense when he's the victim, when he's the one getting shot. You act like he shot somebody 7 times. Then you had guards outside his hospital room. Now they're gone. What were they doing out there? They thinking, where was he going? The man couldn't walk. Was just treating this man like an animal. And the public backlash and the public outcry got the Kenosha Police Department to take those unnecessary handcuffs off of him. He was shackled to the bed like a slave. That's what they did to slaves when they brought them over from Africa on them boats. They had them shackled to the bed, legs and arms and hands, shackled to the beds. Bring them over here against their will. Same situation. You think we've come a long ways? You know, in some ways we have come a long way. In other ways, we're pretty much getting treated just as bad as those slaves was when they was brought over here from Africa. My ancestors were brought over here from Africa. It's just a sad situation, and I'm just glad that they finally did what was right and took them handcuffs off of Mr. Jacob Blake and vacated those felony warrants. Now the next step is to charge this police officer with attempted murder, because that's exactly what he did, unnecessarily on an unarmed black man. Let me know what you think in the comment section about Jacob Blake and his handcuffs being removed from his hospital bed and those felony warrants being vacated. Let me know what you think in the comment section. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Stay woke.